really is all up in the air. You don't have any legislation that is clarifying anything right now. So you can't really pick what stablecoin you're going to use if you don't really know what a stablecoin is.
Right.
So
right.
it's all in the
Absolutely.
works. You already have Visa, which we talked about the other week, who is going to be
Yes.
at the World Conference of Stablecoins. So that's
Yep.
a big one that is coming up, putting their foot in the ring very, very early on in crypto. So they're ready way before MasterCard is. I would prefer USDT, but that's just my preference because I don't like all of the practices of USDC. So that's
Amen.
neither here nor there, though. You know, I would rather just see whatever pushes crypto adoption further. And all of this is good news. I know it's not, some of it's the antithesis of crypto. Yeah,
Exactly.
I know. I did.
He's right. He's 100% right. And yes, because they go after it all the time. USDT, of course they do. And although now they're trying to keep the U.S. off their back by taking securities to back USDT here, U.S. securities.
If the U.S. and FDIC is talking about using a stable coin, what's the chance of them creating their own stable coin rather than using a stable coin that's already around?
See, and that's something that doesn't get discussed a lot either. And that's a very big possibility. Everyone's buoying for this number one position. And it might just be like, you know what? All of you nerds, here's the stable coin we're actually going to use.
Right.
Yep. Well, I mean, look, we talked about it with Wyoming. Was it Wyoming?
Mm-hmm.
That created their own stable coin.
Yep.
And it's like, why? Use an existing stable coin. What the hell's the point? But control, I guess. So, Bedell, Bedell, you got a good point. I mean, it very well could be, and that's why we need to make sure we're all over watching this legislation as it's going through the federal government, because we don't need a backdoor CBDC. Thank you to a stable coin that they decide they're gonna just with the framework for it. So
because I look at it as, I think we talked about it, Wyoming, they created their own stable coin for their own state. Now,
yes,
think about it. If every state has their own stable coin, then the country is going to have their own stable coin. It's like, well, what's really the point of having 51 different stable coins for just this country?
I agree, Bedell. I'm with you.
But in some ways, I'm okay with it because that was the original vision for the United States, was for every state to have their own currency.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it was very, very anti-founder to have a central bank and a single currency for the United States of America. Everything was supposed to be at states' rights, and each state was supposed to be in charge of their local economy. And if you f***ed up your money, that's on you, bro. If you can no longer participate in the United States economy and trade with your neighboring states because your money ain't worth shit, that's on you. And but it keeps things from being centralized, and it keeps one entity from being in the positions that we're in now, where we're waiting on please, Jerome Powell, cut rates for me so my Bitcoin price go. Jerome Powell, you shouldn't even have a job. That job shouldn't exist.
Facts. Facts. Preach.